We have one video message from Jason Guberman, Executive Director of the American Sephardi Federation, an important and historic partner of combating anti-Semitism. We're really, really proud to count you, Jason, as a partner, and thank you for sending this video.
It is an auspicious day to hold a solidarity rally. According to the Hebrew calendar, today is Tisha B'Av, an accursed date throughout history on which an array of atrocities befell the Jewish people, from the sin of the biblical spies to the destruction of both temples at Jerusalem, from the Babylonian exile to the mass expulsion of Jews from England, France, and the Iberian Peninsula, and to the horrific events that led to and occurred during the Holocaust. Throughout today's 25-hour fast, Jews reflect on the cause of all these calamities, sinat chinam, or baseless hatred, which is another name for discriminating against a collective, whether a race, religion, gender, class, or any other form of group identity. Such hatred causes disunity and leads to destruction. Baseless hatred appeals to our basest qualities and thus makes us vulnerable to manipulation, which is why when confronted with a challenge such as the burning of a copy of the Quran or the threatened burning of a Hebrew Bible, we must not only resist the urge to engage in recriminations, but to reject the premise that there is a clash of civilizations rather than the eternal battle between civilization and barbarism. We need to repair, rebuild, and reunite what Dr. Judea Pearl has called the coalition of the decent, the civilized world. In this particular case, the issue has been wrongly framed as one of a clash of rights, freedom of expression versus freedom of religion. But while burning a book is protected speech in Sweden, as in the United States, what of the person who would commit such a barbarous act? Curiously, those who are loudest and most violent in condemning Sweden for doing nothing more than observing its laws are the very same Islamists who celebrated the Iranian regime's attempted assassination of the author Salman Rushdie last August. Over the 33 years since Ayatollah Khomeini published a fatwa and promised a bounty against Rushdie and everyone involved in the publication of his novel, The Satanic Verses, his Japanese translator, Hitoshi Igarashi, was murdered. His Italian translator, Ettore Capriola, and his Norwegian publisher, William Nygaard, were critically injured. And his Turkish translator, Aziz Nesin, was nearly killed in an arson attack that claimed the lives of 33 mostly Alevi Muslims in what became known in Turkey as the Sivas Massacre. Let us not be cowed or compromised with Islamists who engage in selective offense while committing outrageous crimes against civilization. Books need to be read, analyzed, questioned, criticized, not dismissed, censored, and never burned. There's a famous quotation that says, where they burn books, they will ultimately burn people also. Jewish-born German author Heinrich Heine wrote these tragically prophetic words a century before the Nazis burned Jewish books, including books the Nazis deemed Jewish, and then burned Jews during the Holocaust. Heine, however, was not writing about Jews at the time. The quote comes from his 1821 play Al-Mansur, which involves Christians during the Reconquista of Spain, forcibly converting a Moroccan Muslim woman and burning a copy of the Quran at Granada in 1492. In 1233, Jewish opponents of Rabbi Musa ben Maimon allegedly convinced a group of Dominican monks in Paris to torch the Maimonidean works that they could not refute. Going back further, the Romans wrapped 2nd century sage Rabbi Hananiah ben Teradion, one of the 10 martyrs murdered in the wake of Rome's destruction of the Second Temple, in a Torah scroll and burned him alive. The Talmud records what the rabbi said in response to his students, who asked what he saw in his final moments. I see the parchment burning, but its letters are flying to the heavens. Our values, as those sacred letters and the rabbi's soul, are much stronger than the forces of hate. Let us have the courage to stand up for them together.